You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. This call is from
Pat Hoffman.
an inmate at Airway Heights Correction Center. This call will be recorded and monitored. If you wish to block any future calls of this nature, dial 7 now. To accept this call, press 5 now. To decline this call, hang up. Thank you.
Good evening. Sorry to bother you again.
No problem. You know, I'm hoping Agnes will contact me at some point with, you know, what she wants accomplished, and we can talk about it. So if you talk to her, don't hesitate to tell her to, you know, call me or send me an email.
Yes, I will in just a little bit. I just wanted to add with you on this continuing saga that's going on here. It seems that we had everything straightened out for the day until this officer that did the search and stuff wants to continue with the behavioral modification. So he turned off our water again, saying that it wasn't fixed, so he's not having one cell that's occupied by the type of people that take female rights away from them, and not allow us to have the use of the water, even though it ran right up until he got on shift and they started rubbing on his leg. So this is the type of thing that goes on here. Now we're having to ask him again to turn on the water and turn off the water so that we can have some kind of dialogue with him, and that's his behavioral modification. But when I asked him face to face why he was engaging in this, he couldn't answer me except that the water problem hadn't been fixed today, so it went back to this way, even though our cell was okay. He wasn't going to have one cell with the water running all the time and the other one not. And the guy showed me how to turn off the water to the toilet to the other side, and they could have the cell water in there, in the sink.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going through. So I got some addresses, and Agnes will be sending information that was sent to Ninth Circuit District Court and this ongoing discrimination act against me to the Department of Justice and in Washington, D.C., under the Assistant Attorney General's Office for Civil Rights and under the Office of Tribal Justice and Civil Rights Division of that area, all on Pennsylvania Avenue, and the Western region in Dublin, California, and the Western District Compliance Manager for institutions like this in Denver, Colorado. So we're going to stir up some stuff. They want to play games with me. Okay, let's get right down to the real nitty-gritty. I'm not one to hold back when somebody makes an offer that they want to play in the field with me.
Yeah, I understand.
Discrimination against the Native American is they want to act like it's non-existent now because the Indians are non-existent, but we're still alive.
Yeah.
And well.
Yeah, I understand. So just to make sure I'm clear, Mr. Hoffman, you're now currently at Airway Heights Correctional Center, and that's in, I guess, Airway Heights, Washington. You were moved there.
Yes.
How long have you been there, and where were you moved from?
I've been here almost exactly a month. I think it's one day over a month right now.
Okay, and you were moved there from Walla Walla, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I requested Monroe because Monroe was less problems for me. The 8.5 years that I was there, I had introduced new programs that had been taken off, and we replaced them and put them back online for the inmates, and I never had one single write-up in all the time that I was there.
Right.
Now, all of a sudden, with Biendl being killed and stuff, that made a big change, and the federal FBI agency came in, and they had to disperse all of the lifers who helped run the compound and make it work properly and stuff, and replace them with these ones that were like this one that killed Biendl.
Now, help me. You say killed Biendl. Who's Biendl again?
Biendl was an officer, correctional officer, a female that was at the chapel at Monroe one night, and Mr. Sheriff, who had been convicted once of rape and murder, was placed under her care there, and he was removed from being the office assistant there, and in his way of retaliating for it, he waited and hid himself in a closet in the chapel until everybody had left, and then came out and tried to have his way with Biendl, and she fought him off tooth and nail for a good 20 minutes until he finally got in the chapel area. They got close enough to microphone cords that he used microphone cords to choke her to death.
When did this happen? When did this happen?
This happened in 2000. Was it 11? It was just before I got moved. Yeah, 2010, 2011. We were locked down for a straight 3 months.
I see.
No
Wow.
showers, no nothing.
Wow.
No food, no nothing. If we didn't have food in our cell, oh well.
And this happened at Walla Walla?
No, it happened at Monroe.
Oh.
Washington State Reformatory.
I gotcha. Okay. Now, so you moved,
Yeah.
but you have moved from Walla Walla to Airway within the past month, and since you've moved, you've got guards that are acting very discriminatory towards you, and your cell doesn't have proper water, and you're saying that the water has been turned off, and you can't use it for the toilet, and it takes an incredibly long time just to fill up a cup because it flows so slowly.
Yes, even though it's supposedly on or off or whatever they considered at the time, there's a little leakage in the hot water side of the sink, and if we need to get water, we capture enough water to be able to use it in between. The object is that this officer wants us to come and ask him to turn on the water for us so that he can do his little Napoleon idea.
I see.
He's got a small man complex. He's not very tall, and he's built like a dwarf.
Yeah. So it's all about submission, right? They always want you to submit and to come ask them for permission for everything. It's incredible.
And kiss their boots, and
right.
I'm not one to do that.
Right. Incredible.
So if I have to go without for the next 48 hours, I'm ready and prepared to do that. But in the meantime, I'm contacting Agnes after I call you, and I'm letting her know about this, and we're keeping a daily log of what's going on here and the discrimination that's going on with this. There's no need for this because it was straightened out this morning. There was an officer here, and he got an individual that's another inmate that has done maintenance on this particular thing before, and he said this to us standing outside the little entryway into the water closet there between the cells. He said, this side, pointing to our side, the NB19, can remain on. I can turn off the water to the toilet so the toilet doesn't continue running in NB18, and I can still leave the sink water on for them. Now, these two that are in here, one raped a 7-year-old girl and is telling all of these all of these other inmates that he did it and he's proud of it.
Wow. Is that your cellmate? Is that the one? Is that the one they put you with?
No, next door.
Oh, I see.
Next door.
Okay. I see. Do you have a cellmate at all?
19, they're in 18.
Do you have a cellmate at all, or are you completely?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, his name is C.J. Contreras. He looks like the young man that played in the movie Prince of Persia.
Okay.
And
is he?
Military show and another thing that he did with another actor that overdosed back in 10, 11 years ago. Anyway, this is what we're going through right now. I just wanted to pass along this to you so that you were able to do this. It would be nice if there was somebody out there that could call the administration tomorrow and ask them why they are allowing their officers to engage in this type of behavioral modification.
Right. You know,
since it's against the law.
Yes, right.
When did it become the proper and right thing for a correctional officer to do to break the law to instill his authority over somebody that's his prisoner?
You know,
that's what I want to know.
Yes, I understand. I have the phone number for Airway Heights Correctional Center, and I'll try to give them a call tomorrow. And the problem, the challenge that I have is I don't want to cause you more trouble, but I can certainly call them and ask them to check into your particular cell situation with the water and make sure you have proper, running water, as all the cells should.
Well, then the next thing would be to try to move us to a cell rather than fix the problem, and there's no need of that.
Yeah.
I mean, our cell was put back online by the previous shift officer, and they told the inmates and both cells, 4 people, two in one side, 2 in the other, that this was going to occur, and it was okay with them. Then it was okay with us. Now this other officer comes on, and because it's not to his liking that it was supposedly fixed, although, listen, 2 days before, they had the maintenance officers in here with inmate personnel that I know over the years in here that have been my cellie and stuff, and they told me that they were looking out for me and making sure that everything about my cell and the cell next to me was in proper working order. So we have that, along with all of a sudden this doesn't work, and all of a sudden it doesn't work because the officer says it doesn't work.
Yeah, I got you. I just think they specifically hire guards and correctional officers that take delight in causing trouble for prisoners, and unfortunately, it sounds like you have one of those types. And I'll try to make a phone call tomorrow. I do have the phone number, so I'll try to make a phone call.
The White House.
And Aaron called the White House as well.
Yeah. Moving me to another cell, moving my cellie to another cell is not an option, because our cell is runnable if they leave the water alone. If they leave it on, it's fine. And it's not shut off with like a garden hose. You don't have to crank the valve down or anything like that. It's an electrical thing that when you hold it for 3 seconds and it sets it, and it's got an air device on it that calculates pressure, and it runs for the size of a good cup of water on either side, and then it's done. It stops. And the toilet runs its flush cycle, and then it stops. And it's worked that way fine all the way through, even when they had this alleged problem. When they would turn the water on, it would flush properly. and the water would run in the sink properly. And then they would shut it off again. That tells me they want to control.
Yeah.
And when they want to control in that way, that's wrong.
Yeah. I understand.
And the only way to fix that is not to move me or my cellie, but to move the officer, because the officer is doing something he's not supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand.
Do what you can. If you can't do anything, that's fine. I'm letting you know where we're going with this, because this is going to turn into my ticket to be able to go home, because it's constant and ongoing since even before Coyote Ridge.
Yeah.
They moved me from Monroe, going against a court order that they agreed to, that I would stay there at Monroe as long as I didn't cause any problems. And there was no problem caused while I was there. They moved me because the feds come in and says, you've got to break up these lifers and this and that, because they're the ones that's doing the wrong things. Instead of looking at it the way it was and knowing that the counselors who put that person online to be able to do that made a grievous error. And the officers that were supposed to be watching out for this little lady were next door in the public access building on a computer watching porno videos rather than taking care of business.
Wow. Was there any news articles on this murder? I would like to be able to look up some information if there was any news article. Do you know her name or how I could find that?
Her name was Jayme Biendl. I don't remember her first name, but she was a very, very good friend to me and to a lot of the inmates here. I gotta go.
Okay.
I gotta go now.
All right. God bless you, Mr. Hoffman. Okay.
Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.